What's up, everyone? Ronnie Cruz here with Path of the Jedi. Yeah, I haven't come up with it. I think. I mean, I'll have to write it down tonight and try to play with it. I know I have to come up with an intro for Path of the Networker podcast for sure, which is it's taken a little bit of a back burner, a back seat with everything that's been happening. But it's definitely still full steam ahead. Well, okay, so it's not 100% full steam ahead. It's definitely still going to happen. I don't have a date in terms of when that's going to happen, but I want it to happen soon, sooner rather than later. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully within the next week or two. I am going on a massive vacation at the end of August, so I'd like to get it up and running before then. But we'll see. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Anyways, welcome to Path of the Network Marketer. My name is Ronnie Cruz. I have been in this profession of network marketing for over 15 years. I mean, really, if I had to, what is it, 2020, 13 plus, yeah, 16 years, 16 years at this point. Um, and I'm finally teaching myself how to use social media to build my business after all these years. And I don't know, I can't remember. Like this is what 60 something. I'm in the upper 60s in terms of this video series, and I still don't remember if I've told my story. Quick summary. I've yeah, 16 almost 16 years in the profession. I've built in person, belly to belly, traditional, right? Mostly old school way. I came up in the profession old school. I tried online and social media early in my career, and to no avail. I just I felt like I got sidetracked by all the different marketing systems and funnel systems and magnetic systems and all that stuff, and I really wanted to focus more on mastering my fundamentals after having really learned that a lot of that stuff was, well, at least at the time, was just calling to my frustration with not getting any results, right? Not being able to kind of get any traction in my business, and I was I felt, for lack of a better word, because I don't want it to seem like those marketers were preying on frustrated networkers necessarily, but yeah, I fell prey to it. I fell prey to it because like, you look for answers as an entrepreneur. You look for answers. Unfortunately, again, I it was more of a distraction, and in hindsight, I think it slowed down my progress. And it's neither here nor there at this point. I had to go through what I went through. Um, but yeah, I know that I did it as an avoidance of, you know, the challenge that I had, and that was meeting new people. I eventually, worked on that and got over it slowly, and continued to just kind of work my business. Duh, always. When I film outside, always happens. Look at that tail. Yeah, it was an avoidance of well, it was I was what's the word I'm looking for here? I was coddling to my, I don't want to say weaknesses, but yeah, my patterns, my old patterns of shyness and awkwardness and timidity with meeting new people. Um, um, Gradually worked on that, and well, yeah, I had kind of forced myself to do it. You had to do it, because I had to make something happen in my business, and nothing else was working. So I had to finally, eventually, just face the reality that, okay, let's just throw myself in there, and knowing that as I do it, it'll get more and more comfortable, right? Like I'll be, uh, I'll get accustomed to it, and I'll get less shy and less shy and less shy the more I do it. There was really just no getting around that, right? And I'll gain more confidence. I'll gain more confidence. Being okay with messing up, being okay with being a total disaster, early on, and then going from disaster to okay, that wasn't so bad, still painful, but I'm alive. You know what I mean? Like going through the progression of being horrible to being okay to being decent, then kind of good, and then continuing up the ladder to the level of mastery. I think I talked about that on my video when I was shooting in Barnes and Noble, right, right. Um, and yeah. So that's kind of the long and short of my career. That eventually, having grown through my patterns and kind of my own barriers, um, became incredibly successful in my company, in Yoli. Still to this day, I'm in the top 10 of the company and growing strong. However, recognizing also that well, the internet isn't going away, and that there's nothing keeping me from learning how to leverage social media and online marketing. In fact, I'd be a fool not to, given that that's where so much of the market is going. And so that's what this adventure is. I guess that was the whole point of explaining this, right? um, the whole point of this video series is to chronicle and share with you guys the stuff that I'm learning along the way when it comes to online marketing. For this episode in particular, I wanted to, okay, so in yesterday's episode, I talked about the strategies and not well, learning a new strategy in addition to what you're already doing, and also learning a new strategy not to avoid a strategy that you're avoiding, right? Right. So today, I actually, give me just a second. Let me refer to my notes. Okay, so we're back. It actually goes very well with the story that I shared with you about my career path early on, especially. Um, it's more of a mindset video for today, because I experience this all the time, like throughout my entire career, especially as I you know shifted more into the role of teacher and mentor and coach. The language of when people learn something new, a lot of times it can be, well, I don't know how to do that, or I don't do social media, or I don't know, yeah, I can't because like I've never done it, you know what I mean, like things like that, that kind of language. um, I want you guys to understand, even before social media existed, and in my early days of my career, yes, of course, that was my language, but that did not preclude necessarily the effort. The mindset that I can't doesn't preclude the effort. I guess so. So here's my point. I am reading slash listening to a book called Abundance by Deepak Chopra, who's amazing. Um, and part of that book, there's a little passage, and pretty early in the book, I don't exactly remember where, but he said most often, if we're unaware, the awareness it tends to be at the level of the problem, right? Again, when you're starting something new, or if you don't know how, if you don't have the skill sets for a particular thing necessarily, the language can be, and the mindset can be, the awareness can be on the problem. I don't know how to use social media. I'm not on Instagram. I don't use TikTok, right? I mean, for me, I didn't get on TikTok until, like, I don't know, like February of this year, 2022. So, like, obviously all of us, before we got on any of these social platforms or social medias, never knew how to do it, right? So it shouldn't preclude the actual doing of it, or the actual effort. However, if the awareness is only on the problem, you never get beyond that, right? And so Deepak says the awareness, you should shift the awareness. As you grow the awareness then shifts and moves to the solution. And that's always kind of how I've thought, unconsciously or not. Like before I even, like, got into, really got into like personal development and self-help, and being on this growth journey, I always was kind of like, like if I'm gonna get out of whatever situation that I'm in right now in my life, I've gotta get beyond these limitations that I think I have. So, when I say that kind of language of I can't or I don't know how, it's fine, but understand that shouldn't preclude the effort, right? A lot of times, again, if the awareness is only on the problem, people stop there and they don't take the time to employ a specific strategy and tactic because the awareness is still on the problem, right? You maybe at this moment don't know how, and that's why you can't. But that doesn't mean that you can't learn. And really, with the internet, I mean, shit, you can learn anything, right? There's like the language of I can't or I don't know how should be out the freaking window, especially as an entrepreneur, right? Like that's what I love. That's what I love about the internet is that, I mean, you've got all this information at the access of your at the access of your fingertips. That's not the right saying, but you guys know what I mean. You got all this knowledge at your fingertips. I think that's more accurate. um, you've got YouTube, you've got blogs, you've got other people happy to share their experience. You've got this freaking video series, right? We're almost 70 videos in. It's a library and wealth of information that you can tap into to help you learn really whatever you need to learn, to help you gain the mindsets that you need to gain, to help you gain the skill sets, to help you continue on your growth journey as opposed to getting stuck on the problem, right? Getting stuck on the problem. So don't let these limitations be where your awareness is at, right? Like grow your awareness beyond the problem so that you can move to work on figuring out and finding solutions for those problems. And that's all that is. That's all it is. It's just like for me, like the I can't or I don't know hows is just okay. That identifies what I need to work on. It's just okay. That's the thing that we need to figure out, right? It's not the limitation. It's not the end all. Again, it should not preclude the effort, because if it does, then you're never gonna get anywhere. And yeah, you'll just get stuck at the limitation. You'll just get stuck at the problem. So again, grow your awareness beyond the problem and into the solution, right? Grow your awareness into the solution. And you don't have to know the answer to that. It's just the willingness to dive in and figure it out, right? Even like with this, like with online marketing and social media marketing, yeah, I didn't know what I was doing going in, but not only did I get to work reading and learning and educating myself, but I dove in almost as quickly as I started reading up and teaching myself this because I love doing as my main method of learning, right? Because I can only listen to something or read something so many times before it's like, okay, so I'm not learning anymore until I won't learn anymore until I actually apply this stuff. Then I'll have data, then I'll have information to go back and adjust and learn from and improve and then gain mastery, right? So yeah, don't let your limitations preclude your effort. Those limitations, those things that you at this moment can't do or don't know how to do, are just the things that you need to figure out, right? It's a way to identify the things you need to work on, right? Especially when it comes to personal growth. Like if there's things that you are continuing to affirm about yourself, but you're not working on it, you gotta be careful for that. Like oh I don't I'm shy. I get nervous talking to people. I feel like I look stupid on camera. Those kind of things, man. You gotta toss that out the window. It's not. It's again those limitations, those problems should never preclude the effort. It's just things that or that it's your brain signaling that you need to work on these things, identifying the things that you need to find solutions for. And when it comes to like those specific things, personal growth situations, being shy, feeling awkward, not having confidence in front of the camera or on social media, not feeling worthy enough, those things really actually start to, well, in mastery of a skill, like when you develop confidence in, say, online marketing or building a funnel, that confidence then translates into the other things that you're doing, like being on camera, guys. So yeah, yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a really a strong mindset piece, and I'll go into some other stuff here in the next video about. Well, yeah, I'm not going to give it away here. Might as well make it another video. So that's it for today. Let me know what you guys think. Right? Like what are some limitations that you feel have held you back, and what are you doing about it? Because again, it should not preclude the effort. Even though you think you have those limitations, you should work at breaking through those things. So, yeah, well, tune in tomorrow. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like the video if you like it. If not, just keep moving on. It's fine. No skin off my nose. But yeah, we'll catch you again tomorrow in the next video. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Until then, be well, be safe. See you in the next episode. Peace.